The Critical January Directive, a financial warning. If you received a document from the Social Security Administration this January, the directive from experts is absolute. Do not discard it under any circumstances. We are navigating a complex fiscal landscape where a single piece of paper could dictate your eligibility for significant financial support later this year. Even if you traditionally do not file taxes or if you believe the information is redundant, the current administrative climate suggests otherwise. This isn't just about routine record-keeping. It is a convergence of legislative action in Congress, shifting IRS data-sharing protocols, and presidential rhetoric regarding substantial new payments. As an analyst, I see this as a high-stakes moment for the 70 million Americans relying on these benefits, where administrative oversight today could lead to a $2,000 deficit in your household budget by mid-year. Decoding the SSA 1099, more than just a tax form. The document in question is the SSA 1099 form, the official tax documentation of the income you received from Social Security in 2024. Mailing of these forms commenced on December 26th, with digital versions available via My Social Security accounts as early as Christmas Day. While many recipients, particularly those on fixed incomes like SSI or SSDI, may assume they have no use for tax forms because they fall below filing thresholds, this assumption could be a costly mistake in the current year. This form serves as the primary, government-sanctioned proof of your financial standing and identity within the Social Security system. The $2,000 payment, analyzing the dividend speculation. There is significant discussion regarding potential $2,000 dividend payments that have been mentioned by the President repeatedly since October. While the timeline for these payments has shifted, the administration continues to signal that they are a priority for the middle of 2025. However, there is a critical if involved. The government has not yet released a concrete legislated plan. As analysts, we must connect the dots between the president's rhetoric and the administrative requirements being discussed behind closed doors, specifically regarding how these funds will be distributed to the public. The legislative context, Reconciliation Bill 2.0. The mechanism for these potential payments is likely to be a new reconciliation bill currently being drafted in Congress. Following the massive tax cut bill passed last July, this second iteration, often referred to as OBBB 2.0, is aimed at sending thousands of dollars back to individuals who file tax returns. Progress on this legislation is expected by the end of this month, with a target for passage in late spring or early summer. For the beneficiary, the reconciliation bill represents the legal vehicle that would transform speculation into a tangible check in the mail. Citizenship verification, a new administrative hurdle. A major shift in the administration's messaging is the repeated emphasis on Americans only receiving these potential $2,000 payments. This suggests that the distribution of funds will not be based solely on income verification, but on citizenship and identity verification. In previous stimulus rounds, the government used Social Security records to issue payments automatically, but the current emphasis on national status suggests a more rigorous verification process may be implemented. This is why the SSA 1099 is becoming a centerpiece of the conversation. It is the bridge between your Social Security status and a formal tax filing. The IRS and ICE connection, privacy and policy. Recent revelations indicate that the IRS has been supplying taxpayer information to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, for verification purposes. While this is a sensitive political issue, the factual takeaway for Social Security recipients is that government agencies are coordinating data at an unprecedented level. This interagency data sharing reinforces the theory that a formal tax filing may be used as a primary tool to verify eligibility for any upcoming federal payments. If the IRS is already acting as a verification hub for other agencies, it is highly probable they will perform the same role for the proposed $2,000 payments. Identifying the 70 million who is at risk. The requirement to hold on to the SSA 1099 applies to a broad spectrum of the American public, over 70 million individuals. This includes seniors on retirement benefits, disabled individuals receiving SSDI or SSI, veterans and survivors such as widows and widowers. Even single parents raising children on survivor benefits or those taking care of disabled children on SSI are part of this critical group. The system treats all recipients of a 2024 Social Security check the same in this regard. You have received the form, and you are expected to produce it if the filing requirement is enacted. The non-filer trap. Why low income isn't an excuse. A significant portion of the Social Security population is exempt from filing taxes due to low income. However, the speculation currently circulating is that the government may require a tax return specifically to claim the $2,000 regardless of whether you owe taxes or not. This would be a departure from past stimulus norms where non-filers were automatically processed. Therefore, the excuse of "I don't need to file" may be the very thing that prevents a struggling senior or disabled person from receiving life-changing funds. Digital versus paper. Managing your records. For those who prefer digital communication, the SSA 1099 has been available since late December. For those relying on paper mail, it should have arrived in the first half of January. If you have a My Social Security account, you have the advantage of an immediate backup. However, for those without online access, the loss of the physical form requires a time-consuming call to the SSA or a trip to a local office. In a fast-moving legislative environment, the delay in getting a replacement form could mean missing the window for the initial wave of payments. Protecting your financial life. Safe storage. As an analyst, I recommend treating the SSA 1099 with the same level of security as a birth certificate or Social Security card. Do not place it in a random drawer where it might be forgotten or accidentally discarded. If the reconciliation bill moves quickly in the spring, the window to file and claim the $2,000 may be narrow. Having the form in a designated, easily accessible location is a small act of preparation that ensures you aren't tearing your house apart when the deadline looms. The action plan. Step 1. Finding the form. The first step for every recipient is to physically locate the SSA 1099. Check your mail archives from January specifically. If it is not found, the immediate priority is to log into ssa.gov to download a digital copy. If you do not have an online account, now is the professional time to create one. This digital portal is the most efficient way to interact with the SSA and ensures that you aren't at the mercy of the Postal Service during a critical filing period. The action plan. Step 2. Verifying accuracy. Once the form is in hand, you must audit the information. Does the amount shown match the total of the checks or deposits you actually received in 2024? If there is a discrepancy, it must be corrected immediately. An error on your SSA 1099 will translate to an error on a tax return, which could flag your file for a manual audit. In the world of government payments, an audit is a speed bump that can delay your funds for months. The action plan. Step 3. Updating your status. If you have moved recently, you must ensure the Social Security Administration has your current address. Important notices regarding the reconciliation bill or specific payment instructions will be sent to the address on file. Even if you receive your benefits via direct deposit, your physical address is a key component of your identity verification. Do not allow outdated administrative data to stand between you and your entitled benefits. Reality check. Managing expectations. It is vital to maintain a professional level of skepticism. As of now, the $2,000 payments are still in the realm of discussion and speculation, not concrete law. We have seen the president mention these figures for months without a finalized legislative text. However, the professional's approach is to be prepared for the best-case scenario while acknowledging the current uncertainty. It is far better to hold a form you don't end up needing than to need a form you've already thrown away. The struggle. Why $2,000 matters. For many Americans on a fixed income, $2,000 is not just extra money, it is a lifeline. It represents the ability to catch up on delinquent utility bills, perform necessary car repairs for medical appointments, or simply provide breathing room in a high-inflation environment. The psychological toll of struggling month to month is immense, and the possibility of this support is why the administrative details, like the SSA 1099, carry such heavy weight. Immediate help, SNAP, and food assistance. While we wait for the $2,000, there are other programs that many Social Security recipients overlook. If you are on SSI or SSDI, you may qualify for $200 to $300 a month in SNAP grocery assistance. This is money available now, not in the spring. Many people assume they don't qualify, but the income thresholds for these programs are often more flexible than the public realizes. Navigating Medicare savings programs. If Medicare premiums are eating into your monthly check, you must look into Medicare Savings Programs, MSPs. Depending on your income, these state-run programs can pay your Part B premiums, deductibles, and copays. For a senior on a fixed income, having the government take over the Part B premium is effectively a monthly raise. These are the types of immediate benefits that help bridge the gap while Congress debates larger bills. Energy and communication assistance programs like LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, are critical for managing electric and gas bills, especially during peak heating or cooling seasons. Furthermore, the Lifeline and Affordable Connectivity programs provide free or discounted phone and internet service. In an era where verifying your benefits requires online access, like the My SSA account, having reliable internet is no longer a luxury. It's a tool for financial management. Staying informed, the speed of change. The situation with the reconciliation bill is fluid. Information that is true today regarding the $2,000 payments could be updated by next week as new legislative drafts emerge. This is why staying informed through reliable analysis is crucial. You do not want to rely on rumors or sketchy speculation when your financial stability is on the line. Accurate, up-to-date information is your best defense against bureaucracy. Final conclusion: bureaucracy as an obstacle. In summary, you have paid into the system, and these benefits are yours by right. Whether through lifetime taxes or as a citizen deserving of support, you are entitled to what the law provides. Do not let something as simple as a missing piece of paper or a missed deadline stand in your way. Locate your SSA 1099, verify its accuracy, and keep it safe. Preparation is the only way to ensure that when the system finally moves, it moves in your favor.